Hello all, sorry I had to miss class today, but we still will need to do the lab eventually. So we'll plan to do the lab on Thursday. So we're talking about Lab 4, and there are some things since Thursday's class is not shortened, but this should help since you have a little bit of free time today. Leading up to Lab 4, it'd be really helpful if you could write out the possible products from the reactions. So if you look at Lab 4, the name of it is a precipitation reaction. So let's review the quick signs of a chemical reaction. It either changes the temperature, or you release light, or you have a color change, or you form a gas, or you form a solid. And this is the one we care about today. All right, so we're gonna mix two chemicals together. Most of the chemicals are clear liquids to begin with, and we're gonna see which ones form a solid. The goal is to predict what is the actual solid, what the unknown solid is. Okay, so that's what we're going to do. We're going to start with two clear solutions, and most of the time they form a white solid. So we're going to do a quick example of the chemicals that you're supposed to write. So, for example, we make barium chloride is one of the chemicals, and we are going to mix them with magnesium sulfate. So this is the goal. So since barium chloride, it is dissolved in it, remember, barium chloride, if you call it aqueous, really that means that it is split apart into its ions. So barium has a +2 charge, and then you would have to have 2 chlorine ions. Okay, and then, so this process right here is called the net ionic equation. Okay, so we're going to get to the full net ionic equation in a second, but for the individual reactants, this is barium chloride. When it's in water, it splits apart into its ions. And so the other example is magnesium sulfate, and that's aqueous. Makes magnesium and sulfate. So when you mix them together, you make a new solid. So magnesium sulfate plus barium chloride makes something that is a solid. And then the other 2 ions are going to stay in solution, so they will still be aqueous. So of the possible compounds, we can either make the solids are either barium sulfate or magnesium chloride. So these are the possible compounds. So because this is a compound together with, and this is a compound together, if you add these 2 chemicals together and you get a reaction, this must have joined with this, or this must have joined with this. So these are our choices. We have to figure out, after we do a lot of versions of these, we'll figure out what the solid probably was. That's the whole goal. So on page 16 in your lab manual, there's a table that has a whole list of all the possible compounds that could be formed from these reactions. It's the center column. So what I'm asking you to do is to complete that center column on page 16.
Daddy, who are you talking
Okay.
to?
Connor, say hello to my students.
Hello.
All right, thanks. Have a great day, and I'll see you on Thursday.